2 days ago, we got the Pokemon Presents, and at the very end of the Presents, they introduce a new Pokemon game called Pokemon Legends Arceus. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about some reasons why I am super hyped for this game coming out in 2022, and some reasons probably that you haven't thought about why you might be hyped for it as well. So without further ado, let's just discuss the game a little bit here. Obviously, the game looks a little bit off right now. However, I have very high hopes for this game, even though I've heard people saying that it looks very over-sharpened is a term that they keep using, and that it just needs to look a little bit blurrier, and I guess that's something that I would agree with in the sense that it could just be blurrier. Like, it looks too crisp. But, like, that's something that could just easily be changed, especially over a year. It seems like the video that they released was more of a proof of concept rather than just the straight gameplay. But this is going to be an overworld Pokemon game that is basically free roaming, have very little towns, you can go out into the wild and just catch Pokemon. And one of the things that people have just straight up been comparing it to, obviously because it's the most direct comparison that we have, is Breath of the Wild, but with Pokemon. So in Breath of the Wild, that was a game that I loved. I almost 100% completed, except for all the Korok seeds. But anyways, Breath of the Wild was a smash hit, and it really revamped the Zelda franchise, so much that they even decided to make Breath of the Wild 2 an Age of Calamity. This feels like the revamp in the Pokemon community that everybody has been asking for such a long time, especially since the Pokemon said that it was only going to be on the Nintendo Switch and Gen 8. We thought that we were getting an overworld Pokemon game really soon, and it took a little bit longer. We've had Sword and Shield, the DLCs, and Gen 4 remakes, but they're doing it basically right after the Gen 4 remakes come out. And it feels like it's going to be a really, really good experience once it's all worked out. Because as for Pokemon gameplay more recently, fans have been noticing that mythical Pokemon really haven't been getting the treatment that we feel like they should be getting. As with back in Gen 4, Pokemon such as Shaman, Darkrai, they got their own in-game events, such as like going to the island of Shaman, and then there was that house with Darkrai, and there's just the unreleased Arceus event where you could go back to Sky Pillar and then challenge Arceus from there. But more recently, in games like Gen 7 and Gen 8, we've been getting Pokemon like Magearna, Marshadow, Zeraora, the new Grass and Dark type whose name I do not remember. Those have just been events that have more or less just been handed to the player, and we just kind of have to watch the movie where the mythical Pokemon comes out. And people just haven't been vibing with that. It's been one of the main critiques is that mythical Pokemon haven't been getting the treatment that we feel like they should be getting. However, Arceus, debatably the most powerful mythical Pokemon and Pokemon creator of the universe, is now getting his own game, so they can fully flesh him out and just really explain some more of the Pokemon lore around Arceus and things that we really don't know about, which is something that I'm really excited for, because I remember debating with people about like, oh, Arceus shouldn't have been a Pokemon that you could catch. It should just be like the god of the universe. It doesn't make sense that why a person would be able to catch the god of the universe. However, now they have a chance to fully flesh out Arceus' backstory, and then we can really close the book on Gen 4. The way Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire kind of closed the book on Gen 3 in the sense that we now know how Rayquaza was able to defeat Kyogre and Groudon, and it also kind of explained the lore of, in Gen 3, in regular Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Maxie or Archie picks the opposite color orb, but in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they picked the corresponding color orb. Furthermore, fleshing out Arceus is that in Oraz, obviously, Groudon and Kyogre got new forms, primal forms, and we're kind of assuming that in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, we kind of assumed that we were going to see Primal Dialga and Primal Palkia at some point during the games, especially since they haven't released the box art yet for the game. Hopefully Arceus gets a form that has some explanation of like his Thousand Arms form that it says in the Pokedex. I think that would be really cool, and hopefully he gets more than one form change. And of course, with Pokemon Arceus, we've just been having that missing that third version Whether it was you had Yellow in Gen 1, Crystal in Gen 2, Emerald in Gen 3, Platinum in Gen 4, but then with Gen 5, and I love Gen 5 for everything, but in Gen 5, we got the Kyurem fusions had each of their own games, which was fine, but then in Gen 6, we just didn't get Pokemon Z, even though there were new Zygarde forms for Zygarde 100%, Zygarde 10%, and it was basically all but confirmed that there were supposed to be sequels to Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, but because of ORAS and just the need to produce a new game on the 3DS, they just kind of ran out of time and weren't able to make that next version. We've just been kind of missing that feeling of having the third version. Now, with Pokemon Legends Arceus, it feels like we're going to get that, except instead of having Giratina from Platinum, we're going to have Arceus in a completely different new game. One of the things I don't think has crossed people's minds is that we already kind of know how an overworld Pokemon game would work, in the sense that tens of thousands of people have probably already played one, which is Pixelmon, the Minecraft Pokemon mod. And whenever I was watching the trailer and they had the battle UI of the rotating camera just battling wherever you currently were, that reminded me a lot of Pixelmon. In Pixelmon, you could just go to a bunch of different biomes and they would have different Pokemon wandering the area, and you could challenge some Pokemon bosses too and they would give you things. And of course you could craft things. I hope crafting or at least pops up in Pokemon Legends Arceus, because I think that would be really neat. The concept of an overworld Pokemon game has already been tested, and I think it's going to be really interesting to look at the similarities between Pixelmon and Pokemon Legends Arceus. And of course, with Pokemon Legends Arceus, if the game does well, the name Pokemon Legends implies more than one, as in if this game does well, they will make more down the line in the future. So you might be thinking, what could be next after Arceus? There really isn't anything other than the god creator of the universe. And that's where I had the idea. The next logical sequence of events, maybe 8 years down the line or so, would be seeing Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem in their own game, fusing into the original dragons. Now, from what we understand, and what they've told us about Pokemon Legends Arceus, is that Pokemon Legends Arceus is a prequel to the Sinnoh region. Well, if we had a prequel to the Unova region, there's tons of content there. Like, there's the ruins in Unova, there's the whole Pokemon War that happened, there's the rise of Ghetsis and his 7 sages, and of course there's before, when you had Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem, before they were split into the original dragon. Now, it would be kind of hard in the lore sense, because once the original dragon exists, they would have to be split, and then you couldn't recombine them in a sense. However, I think that that's the next step, honestly, is seeing the original, is Pokemon Legends Kyurem, and having the original dragon, and understanding the lore behind where the original dragon came from, and how Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem were split into 3 different beings, with Kyurem being the empty husk of the original dragon. So, in conclusion, I guess, everybody, of course, was waiting for those Gen 4 remakes, but, I've got my eyes on Pokemon Legends Arceus, obviously, just because it's gonna be the game that I think really takes the Pokemon industry into the future and makes Pokemon a lot more normalized. Everybody keeps talking about how Pokemon is just a kid's game, and it's not hard. I think they could really take Pokemon Legends Arceus' concept and just push it right to that really nice, high-polished state of where Breath of the Wild is at now. It just has the potential to be the greatest Pokemon game ever released. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please actually like it, and maybe even think about subscribing. I'm still a very new channel. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Pokemon Legends Arceus